Good morning, good morning, good morning. All right. Wow. We have a lot. All right. Good morning. We have many people. Awesome. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. We'll start in a second. Let's just get rolling here. Hello. All right. First of all, can you hear me?
Yes.
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 Awesome. That was and I heard you. That was a resounding yes. Okay. And I assume you can see me. You can see me, right?
Yes.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Okay. All right. We have so much to do. Let me first say, I'm gonna explain in a couple minutes in more detail. Those of you who just literally used your voice to say yes, I think, for example, I think that was Carolina. I think that was Colin. I think I'll learn this as I go and correct me if I'm right. And certainly correct me if I'm saying your name wrong. But like Carolina, thank you. Colin, thank you. Those of you who like responded at all, thank you. And bizarrely or not, you're going to learn in a few minutes how you're going to get points for that. Okay. This is a real-time class. Yes, we're missing a third dimension. Oh, and like Colin just put his video on. Funny. That should come up right now. Is it required to show video? No, it's not. But is Colin getting points for the fact that he's showing video? Yes, he is. I will explain all this as we go. This is a real time, or what do you call it? Like, yeah, it's a synchronous. Oh, there they go. Here we go. All right, now see, it's a class. All right. Oh my God. All right, it's a class. It's a class. Wow. Wow. Also, you're clearly paying attention to what I'm saying. If you're doing that, that's awesome. Oh my God, they're all hello, hello. All right, so we're going to start this again. And I'm not kidding. I mean, I am joyful to see you, but I'm not kidding about any of this. So, hello, Colin. Hello, Alexis. Hello, Shaynell. Oh, tell me if I'm saying your name wrong, please. And again, and I am serious. It's not required that you show video. Like almost nothing in this class is required. Well, I mean, even passing the class is not required, but nothing is required. But you'll see, it is a synchronized class. Like we're trying as hard as we can be to be a class, only missing a third dimension. So you're going to see there's like all these different ways to participate or engage, each of which is encouraged and rewarded with points that do go into your grade. It's somewhat gamified. I'll explain. But including showing video, including using your voice, and so you'll see. But so thank you for showing video even for 1 minute for right now. So hello, Colin. Hello, Alexis. Hello, Shaynell. Hello, Charlene. Hello, Brandon. Hello. Oh, even the wave. All right. Yeah, hello, Nasreen. And again, tell me if I'm saying it wrong or right. Well, tell me if I'm saying it wrong. Hello, Brittany. Hello, Juan. Hello, Xavier. Hello, Anissa. Hello, Carolina. Hello, Ariana. Hello, Gaia. Hello, Mickey. Hello, Judith. Hello, Maria. Hello, Ethan. And hello, uh, Aiden Else. Sorry, Aiden Elsie. Hello, and hello, Maria. Oh, by the way, do you get points if you show video, but then like later you turn it off? Yes, you do. You will see. So nothing is anytime you participate in this class, that is not a commitment to eternal participation. It is a spontaneous, rewardable act of goodness. Okay. Also, even people that show anything other than a black square, such as Ethan, okay, that counts as an avatar. I can never pronounce that word. Um, and that's points. You'll see how this all works. It's all gamified, whatever. Not that it's a good game, but it is a game. Maria, hello. I think you just hello, hello. If there's anybody I didn't say hello to, hello. Oh, and I see a private chat. Okay. Okay. I will, since it's a private chat, I'm not going to repeat it, but got it. And I will try to pronounce it better next time I say it. But if I said it now, it would defeat the whole purpose of a private chat. Right. Okay. Let's talk about that too. You get points for using the chat. Do you get points for using the private chat? Yes, you do. Do I read the chat? Yes, I do. Um, will I often like stop in mid-sentence to read the chat? Yes, but that's because I'm a spazzy guy, not because you've done anything wrong. Quite the reverse. Any way that you can make this class yours, I promise you, is like for the better. For as you can see, also, I talk a lot and a mile a minute. Anything you can do to break up the monotony of me is good for you guys and good for me. Okay. So I do look at I have the chat going the whole time. Sorry. And in fact, I'm looking at it right now. I had the chat going the whole time. If you I obviously the public chat is like ultimately sort of better for everybody, to stay everybody involved. But if you use the direct chat, if you use direct chat, I will never reveal I'll honor it. I won't reveal your name. I'll honor the fact that that was not meant for anybody else to know that you were saying whoever you are. But as we get into the class, you'll see like if someone puts in the direct chat like a question about physics or like a physics answer, and they're putting in the direct chat because like fear of something from their peers or whatever, like, so I can respect that, so I won't say the person's name. But if it's a physics thing, I might, especially because I usually think your questions are better than you might think they are, or you're like more embarrassed than I am by what you or whatever it is. So I will often, if it's physics, I'll often like repeat or read out loud or paraphrase the physics. I just won't say whose it is if it's direct chat. Okay, you definitely should use it. In fact, before I move on, let me say there's a lot of disadvantages to a Zoom class, of course. There's a lot of disadvantages, but one advantage to a Zoom class is direct chat. I mean, that is one thing we never, literally do not have in a regular classroom. And I mean literally, because you could pull the professor over and say, "Hold on, I've got a private question for you. Like my ear is bleeding and like this, and my dog's grandmother like hey like had physics trauma, so I have to whatever." Like you could call me over and tell me a whole secret. But like everybody sees that you're calling me over, right? I mean, that's not really private. But so definitely use a direct chat if it helps you. Okay, whatever. There's more in the direct chat. No. Okay. Oh wait, there is. Hang on. Yeah. Oh, good question. In the direct chat. Okay, I'm not going to repeat the person's name, but it's a really good question. So basically, someone is gathering from the fact that I have like this screen already up, right? Okay, good point. I already have this screen up. Presumably it's because I'm going to be using slides, right? Which I will. Or I'm going to be drawing while we learn or while I teach. It's not even so much slides. It's like I will be taking notes with along with you, whatever. I treat it like a blackboard, a whiteboard. So the question in the chat is, will I upload whatever I write down for you in class? Will I upload that? Yes, I absolutely will. All in Google Class, I will. And I'll do more than that. So let's start talking about that. All of it, all this stuff, anything that's happening now. Oh, including the recording of what is happening right now. You might have noticed it's recorded, right? That will be uploaded through YouTube into Google Classroom, like all classes will. So if I go too fast and you have to rewind and see if it's before an exam or you miss a class, I mean, you would never miss a class, of course. Once you get a load of this, how could you miss a class? But yeah, it'll all be recorded and then and available on YouTube into the Google Classroom, and for good or for bad. And like obviously nobody watches these things besides you guys. I mean, who wants to watch this? Like, don't worry, whatever. Nobody watches this crap besides this stuff besides you guys. But the flip side of that is, as we get into this more and more, you'll also see, say you have to study for an exam, which we'll talk about in a minute, like so you can watch the classes again from this semester, but you'll see when we go there, you'll see, or maybe you already see in the YouTube channel, there's a playlist for every single version, every single semester of this class that has existed since COVID. So sometimes I explain things better than other times. So you can always go back and find old exams or old review sessions or whatever that that's all hopefully a resource that you can use. So but yes, I will upload these slides. All right. And it's going to be like this. Like you could see, I have a plan. Okay. Like there's stuff to do. There are materials and there's homework and there's exams. And my name is Dr. Yaverbaum. I teach physics. I love physics. Nice to meet you. I'm hoping to get to know you very well and hoping to have you again next semester. Most of you, many of you. Um, I think hopefully we're like getting ready to be together for a while. Anything I say today about course expectations, grading, things like that, it's true for both Physics 203 and 204. And I usually teach all the lectures of 204. So hopefully we're going to get to know each other and all that stuff for good or for bad. Um, And I've been doing this for a long, I've been doing this for over 30 years. So it all look, I always talk like everything's a mess. I I'm always really enthusiastic about physics and about teaching physics. It all seems like I'm just like all over the place. I am all over the place, but that's partly because I would rather get to all the things I need to get to by answering your questions. Like the more that you guys just like ask things or say things or ask me to back up and I get to them that way, the better for everybody. Do I teach during this? All right. So for example, I'm looking in the chat. So I promise we're going to get to everything we need to get to. And it will be in an order. And all the material you'll see in a minute is clearly laid out in Google Classroom, which is what we use in all the physics classes. And you may, yeah, which is what we use in all the physics classes. So I promise, like, there's a sequence and a goal and an organization to those of you who like organization or need organization, it's all there. But the way I talk, partly so I can keep us all alive during Zoom, because it's hard, right? I would prefer to go to do it in a kind of non-linear way and go back and forth from people's questions than to just um, bombard you. Okay. So please trust what I'm trying to get at is, and I'm going to explain this all. I care I care about participation, stuff like that. So whenever answering a question, like I'm about to, there's something in the chat. If I'm ever answering a question, please understand that's not like a tangent. It's not me getting off the subject and then time for you to like, so I don't want you to be frustrated or angry or distracted. If I'm answering a student's question, I promise you, like that is the subject. And I'm just hoping that in 5 minutes that student is you, like whoever you are. You see what I'm saying? It's like all the questions that have been asked so far are things I would have gotten to at some point today anyway. But okay, you get my point. So do I teach during the summer? I used to all the time. Sometimes I take the summer off these days. I took the summer off last summer, but usually I don't. And for sure, when I teach during the summer, for sure, it's physics 204, like only for what it's worth. So fair question. I'll let you know too as we get closer. Okay. So this is Physics 203. If you're in Physics 203 and you're in the right place, I'm very excited you're here. I'm Dr. Yaverbaum. Let's get to more. Oh, as you see, I'm going to put in the chat again. I'm glad you found it. I mean, I'm glad whoa, hold on. Just try and put something in the chat for you. Oh, hold on. Not that. Bear with me for a second. Yeah, okay. Okay. Right. So one thing, like obviously, if you're here, which I'm glad, it means you either got an email from me or you saw the announcement in Brightspace. Like, good, thank you. So to be clear about a couple of things, yes, this place that you are now, this Zoom link is always the Zoom link. Whether it's Mondays or Wednesdays, doesn't matter whether it's called lecture or recitation. That's like it doesn't mean anything in physics. I mean, I wish it did, but it doesn't. Lecture extra. It's like it's always this Zoom link. It's always me for good or for bad. And it's always kind of like this. But at the end of the course, you could tell me whether you thought of it as more of a lecture or recitation. But mostly any single day, whether it's Monday or Wednesdays, we're ultimately working through homework physics problems. Sometimes we're working them through in advance. Usually you've already tried them at home and now we're talking about them in the class. Like it's always like recitation in that sense. Um, and that there's almost never a time when I would say, no, don't raise your hand right now. I have a PowerPoint. Like that's never what it, okay? So always here at this Zoom link, always with me, but from here on in, for good or for bad, you never look at Brightspace again. In a way, I apologize for that. In a way, it's like really obnoxious of me to give you yet another platform to have to worry about in your life. I recognize that. But in physics, in all the physics classes, we have found over the years, we have found Google Classroom to be much ultimately better for you and for us than Blackboard or Brightspace or these things. So for good or for bad, the only time you ever look at Brightspace from here is like to find this link that I just put in the chat. From here on in, it's all Google Classroom. So, and many of you already, so we're gonna get, so please, if you, I can tell many of you already did, but if you haven't yet, hit that link and join the Google Classroom, please do so now. We're gonna like check, we're gonna get into that in a second. And then, and if you've never, well, let me just quickly ask, just raise your hand or your electronic hand if you've ever used Google Classroom, like in high school or anything. Like if you have, oh, some people, oh, sure. Oh, many people. Awesome. Oh, and Electron, I love the different. Okay, cool. What about the floating thumb emoji? What's okay? No, you great. Oh, and someone's here too. Okay, great. Thank you. By the way, all of you who just raised your hand. You're going to see in a minute. You got points for that. When I say you get points, I mean you have to do a thing. You'll see. But you totally all these things, including just like literally raising your hand, you're getting points for. And I'll explain where the points go in a minute. But as far as Google Classroom, good that some of you have used it before. If you haven't used it before, I can tell you this much. One of the reasons we like it is because we being physics people, because it's like Google. So like it's as hard or not as any Google thing is. And if you've ever used any Google thing at all, it's kind of easier to transfer, we feel, your habits to Google Classroom than so in other words, join it right now if you haven't yet. And then you could start poking around with me. We're going to poke around together. If you really have difficulty joining it or following how it works, I will talk. We can make an appointment and I can help you through it. But I think most of you will find it. I think you'll catch on pretty quick. Wait, is there something in the chat? So please join the classroom. I'm gonna walk you through our classroom thing. But one thing I just want to ask, and again, many of you already did, and I totally appreciate that. But please, you can use any email address you want to join Google Classroom. It doesn't have to be your John Jay, but please make sure that your email address that you use or I forget what they call this. You could tell me in the chat or correct me, or like the screen name that your email calls you by. I don't know, not screen name, not username, but whatever that thing is where like, even though my email, oh, funny, speaking of my email, even though like my email is daverbaum at jj. But like, at the top, it'll say from Daniel Yaverbaum. Like somehow at some point I put my full name in there, right? Please make sure, and you can put in the chat display name. Thank you. Thank you. Display name. See, that's points right there. I'll explain the points. I really will. But thank you, person who just did that. Um, uh, what was I going to say? Please make sure your display name is your full name. It can't be like 360 no scope McGee like that. Well, unless your name, I shouldn't have said that. Maybe someone's name is 360 no scope McGee. All right. You know what I'm saying? It can't be like cool person 555. Um, please make sure because when you join the Google Classroom and you give them your name and whatever email goes with that, that's it. That's you for me from here on in. Like that's where all the grades are going to and all that. So I do like need to know who you are. Okay. So if you only put in a first name, please change that, etc. Um, so you're going to join this Google Classroom. We're gonna walk through it in a second. It's 11:10. As far as ever reaching me with questions or issues or math trauma or something, um, like that's my email address, the standard D Averbaum, the JJ. You'll notice that whenever we do everything through Google Classroom, I have a different email address as well, like Yaverbaum at jjPhysics. That's cool. That's what I use for all this Google stuff. But if you're writing a direct email to me, I'll get it faster and I'll notice it better if you write to my standard email address. Okay. Then also, because you will see in a minute that I sometimes I can be hard to reach or find physically, like we're not getting to know each other physically this way. You and I might not be on campus at all in intersecting hours. So for that reason, also like I have a medical condition that may take me away sometimes when I wish it wouldn't. So for that reason, my cell phone number is right there. 413-717-0382. I'll put it in the chat right now too, just to be absolutely, but yes, I'll upload these notes. Hold on. Whoa, one sec. Sorry. Okay. You are welcome to use my cell. I encourage it because I get to it faster than like anything else. You are welcome to text. I'm a big texter, actually. Okay. I love text. Just the two things about texting, or the couple of things about texting. And I mean this because I am hard to find sometimes, but I'm not hard to text. And I will get back to you fast, usually. Um, if you text me, first of all, the first time you text me, like say who you are, please say like I'm Mickey from Physics 203 or something, okay? But then second of all, then from there on in, you can text, and it doesn't matter what hour it is. If I'm like asleep, then I won't hear it. It's okay. But just the rule of thumb is if you're texting, that means you've come up with a question that takes you longer to write than it would take me to answer. Fair? I mean, like that's what texting is for as far as I'm concerned. So like, is our exam really tomorrow? Question mark. Yes or no? So I can write you back no in like 2 minutes, and I'm happy to do it because it'll lower your heart rate. Like any question that if I could take 2 seconds to answer very fast for you will reduce your stress or anxiety or like whatever, I'm delighted to do it. Right. So, or even like our forces on next week's exam. Yes or no? Right. Happy to do it. Even, even like I was doing this practice problem screenshot. I was doing this practice problem. I was doing this homework problem screenshot. Blah, 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 blah. I think there should be a negative sign. Like I got like whatever. I got a negative in my answer. Like, or should there be a negative? Whatever. Like, you can even like ask me for physics help by texting, but just focus it for me. So it's like a true or false, or a yes or no, or a multiple choice kind of thing. If I can make it so that I really can get back to you super quickly and not have to think about it, and then we're both delighted. I even prefer that to email if you okay, but just don't ever text me like, I missed the last 4 weeks of class. Can you teach me acceleration here with a Bitmoji? Like, no. Get it? Okay. 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 So that's, and then if you want to find me physically, right. Of course, I do have office. I'm on the fourth floor. I'm in 0460105. Generally, I'm there 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Tuesdays. That's about it, sadly. And even there, I would text me first, even an hour before, and just say, "Are you around? I'm coming by in an hour." Cool, just to make sure, because I don't want to waste your time. But outside of that, oh, what I forgot to put on this board, but you have it, or you do have, well, obviously you have it, is my Zoom link. Um, like if all this, and I'll schedule, so I should have put this here. Like if you have like extended things and you want to talk about physics or like learn or get help, of course I do that. But if my office hours don't work for you, what that just might mean is text me. I should have said this. Just text me like, can we make a phone or Zoom appointment so like you can help me with blah? And the answer will be yes. And then we'll just schedule it. It might be phone, it might be Zoom. But of course I do that. Just we'll do that. We'll arrange it by text. Okay. I'm looking at the chat. I'm looking at the Oh, that's a great question. Wow. Yeah, we are getting modern. So someone's asking me in the chat, when I say text, right now, honestly, I do mean iMessage or yeah, I mean text messaging, like SMS messaging. WhatsApp, okay, I'll admit I do have WhatsApp for certain purposes, but I don't check that. Like I will not be reliable. And it'll actually confuse me to have physics people in my WhatsApp. It's like for other specific things. So like I know it, I know how it works, blah. But no, I mean like literally just like text, like iMessage or SMS, if that answers the question. I hope. By the way, and I know I'm yammering, yammering, yammering. I was about to say, it won't always be like this. It'll totally always be like this. Um, but while I'm yammering about this texting and everything, and see, we will go on. Like, see, like I'll do like there is more to do. But what wait, something about the texting. You just reminded me. Do I use WhatsApp? What did that remind me of? It'll come back to me. But oh yeah, it came back to me. So like someone just asked me in the chat, like, do I use iMessage or WhatsApp? Totally legitimate question, right? And by the way, even if and it is a totally legitimate question, but it's also just exciting because it's a question, because it just means like it's you, not me. So thank you and yay. I keep saying you're getting points for these participations. I'm going to explain how in a minute, but let me even add to that to like increase the drama. Say you ask a question, you're going to see there's a way of getting points for that. Say I answer it. If you then write something in the chat like, got it, thanks, i.e., i.e., you can move on now and not rabbit hole yourself, crazy man, professor. If you do something like, got it, thanks, I call that closing a conversational loop or closing a conversational path. And you get points for doing that, like additional points. Okay. There's all these weird, you're going to think by the end of the class, you're not going to know whether I've been trying to teach you physics or I'm trying to teach you weird, like weird forms of politeness, how in the year 2025 to relate to someone who's over 50 and wasn't born with computers. Like maybe that's what I'm trying to do. I don't know. But every single way that I can ever think of that will help, like you, make this a more human, respectful, collaborative experience for you and for me, every way that I can think of is incentivized with points. In fact, you even get points if you come up with a way that I haven't yet come up with for how you can get points. And you'll see that, okay? Like it's totally gamified in that respect, but it's serious. I mean, they are points on your grade. Because whatever, I'm just that desperate for this to still be like a group bonding experience. Okay, so manners class era. Yes. There's even points for jokes. So someone just put in the direct chat manners class era. Word. Um, yes. Manner, right. Respect. Yes, exactly. I love it. And it's for everybody's sake, right? It's not, you get it, you get it. Are you clearly you get it because of that joke? All right. So that's like some nonsense about that. So keep it coming. Keep this participation coming. You can't, you literally also, I'm trying to set a tone. Like, really? You're worried about what you're going to ask? Like, like notice everything that's happened so far is in the direct chat. I understand that. Believe me, I do understand that. Again, I've been doing this for over 30 years. I have two children. I get why people don't want to go public, especially on the first day. But really, I mean, look at who's at the front of the room. Could you literally embarrass yourself more than I'm? I mean, what's the fear? You're going to be off the topic? What topic? Like, really, you can't, I can't imagine what you would put in the chat that really is not helping our situation right here. So please do. But okay. All right, let's talk about, well, actually, yeah, we'll talk about grading. But this is like I'll talk about grading because I know that's everybody like everybody cares and you should. But in fact, in order to talk about this grading business, like how it works and where all these points work in that I keep talking about, well, all right, I'll just say it. Like so in this class, and I'm gonna have to, the grading is a little bit well anyway. I'm just saying it so that you can believe me when I say that every time you participate, you're being rewarded for that. And you really will even see that by the time this class is over today. If things go correctly, you will receive some of the points that I'm talking about today so that you see how it all works. But the big picture of these points and of this grading and everything is okay, lab is everything you do in your lab with your lab instructor. Oh, which let me pause for a second. Your lab instructor is Professor uh, Walters. Is that correct? Professor H. Walters? Can someone confirm or deny? Or is it Professor Talley? Who
Callie,
it's Tally. Okay,
me.
thank you. Who? Wait, now who was that? Wait, I mean, who just said that?
Me.
Colin. Colin's like all. It's a good thing that we don't compete in this class because if we did, we'd all be competing with Colin right now. No, he's all over there. He just got like 400,000 points. Um, I'm being silly, but no, thank you, Colin. First of all, that's awesome. Second of all, by the way, we're not competing in this class. I almost forgot to mention. I'll make that clear now that I'm talking about grades. But okay, Professor Tally. So everything, and she's awesome. She went through this whole thing as wait, have you no, wait a minute. I should pause on this too. Today's so you haven't met her yet. We're starting with me. Like right, okay. So she's awesome. Physics lab is a big part of physics. You'll go to her lab period, whatever it is, whatever lab period is, and believe me, I stay in. No, I should just ask. Okay, when is your lab? And maybe someone other than college, so we can get. When is your lab?
Tuesdays.
Oh, great. Oh, and I see you in the chat and in the chat. Awesome. Thank you, Brittany, and thank you, people who are in the private chat. And thank you. Who just said Tuesdays? Was that Brandon? No, that was Brandon. Awesome. Okay. So you'll go into lab tomorrow, and in case it's not clear, it's on the third floor, right? It's 3.65 of the new building. Uh, she will not give you a separate syllabus, like the actual technical syllabus, like all the rules and everything of all this whole class is a document that's in your Google Classroom. I'm going to address when I open up the Google Classroom here. Like you'll see that it's the same document for both. She'll tell you her own office hours or her own availability, all that kind of stuff. But then once you're in lab with, and I stay in communication with her, believe me, and we really try. Believe me, it is two separate things that you do. But I promise you, I will be knowing where you are in lab at all times. I'll be checking in with you where you are in labs at all times. Some lectures I give or some discussions I give will be deliberately like meant to help you complete a lab report successfully and on time. Like the two things are meant to be very related. Meant to, I mean, sometimes it doesn't work out perfectly, but like they're anyway, they're related. But everything you do with Professor Tally, everything you do over there, she does all the grading, all your lab reports, all that kind of stuff. All of that ends up together being one big grade over there for her, and then that counts for 40% of your whole grade for this whole class. I mean, that's a lot. That's close to half, but that's because you do a ton of work in lab. And I mean, and for the e-permit students in the room, I think there's some e-permit students, just to be clear, like for whatever it's worth at John Jay, like you get one grade for the whole package of lab and lecture. That's just the way it is. So everything you do over there with Professor Tally, if you ever run into a real conflict with her, which people tend not to, like she's, I think, very I mean, most people have a very good time getting along with her, but if you were to, including me, but if ever anything were to get like sticky, then you come to me. But she's the final, she's the main authority in that room, and for all those grades. Okay, so all of that stuff is 40%. Then there's 60% left over for everything we do here. So how does that work? And why am I bringing this up now? Okay, with what's left here, it says on the board, in a way, it's very simple. In a way, it's not. So let me say it, and I'll end up saying it more than once. And it's true for Physics 204 as well. It's like this. You'll take a midterm exam with me. You'll take a final exam with me. We'll talk about them in detail as we get closer. And the dates you'll have some control over. The dates, well, the final exam is like at the end, but the midterm is not, the date is not fixed yet in the syllabus. It never is because we're because you're going to have some input into that date, so it doesn't conflict with Orgo or whatever. Okay. But the midterm, it'll be like early November. I mean, uh, like early March, something like that. So you have these two exams, a midterm and a final exam. They'll be averaged together. I can't drop either one because you have two. So they get averaged together, and that's like your base average for this part of the class for the 60%, right? Just your two exams get averaged together, you have a base average. But then every other point you ever get from homework or from all this participation stuff that I'm talking about, you'll see, or if you didn't already figure it out from Google Classroom, any other point you ever get from me for anything that's not one of those two exams gets scaled down. It gets like divided. Well, all those points all accumulate throughout the whole semester. And then at the end of the semester, you'll have a pile of a huge pile of all these extra points, okay, from homework. And I see there's something in the chat. I'll get it in 1 second. You'll get all these points from standard physics problem solving homework and all this participation stuff, which we call the game, the participation game. All those points go into one big pot of yours. At the end of the semester, I take that huge pot of points you have and I divide it by a scaling factor that's usually around 10. Whatever it is, it changes from semester to semester. That's where it gets complicated. And I can explain that in a few minutes or later or whatever. But whatever the number is, any given semester, it's the same for every single student. Of course. So it's usually a number around 10. So you'll have like 200 homework and participation points accumulated. So at the end of the semester, I divide it by 10, let's say, or whatever the number is that semester. Say, bad example. I'm sorry. I usually divide by like 20. Again, it changes from semester to semester. But say you have 200 points and I divide by 20. So now that makes 10. 200 divided by 20 makes 10. So now you have 10 extra points. Those 10 extra points get added directly on to your base average. So if your exam average was like an 81, now your average in the class is a 91. Okay. And then often for many people, if you've been at all a good citizen, if you've taken any kind of initiative, if you've like shown up a lot, if I like know who you are, we then you get an extra point for what I call initiative. It's not that hard to get. It basically means that you've made yourself you've distinguished yourself in the class so that we all know who you are and you've made a contribution. Um, so that's an extra point. Um, so at the end of the day, your average in the lecture portion of the class is your exam average plus all these points that you get from homework and participation. And let me be clear that the example I just gave, where you would get like 10 extra of those points, is a fairly realistic example. Like many people get like 14 extra points, some people get like 6 extra points, but you can fundamentally change your grade. Like you can raise it, 3 halves, you know what I mean? By doing all that stuff, the homework and participation. And last thing to, so it really makes a difference. It makes a huge difference. Two last things to say about that. Okay. I mean, I know talking about grading is boring, but it's like important. Um, the whole idea behind this grading system is that, first of all those things, the homework, participation, all these weights, showing video, all of that is optional. You could like never do a homework in principle. I mean, it'd be a very bad idea, but you could never do a homework or you could never participate at all. And I'm not putting zeros in the book or something. You just aren't getting those points. So in a way, you can consider all that extra credit if you want. It does function that way. It is extra points that increase your average by a substantial amount if you like really get in the habit of doing all these things. And the theory behind it, and then I'll move on, but it reminded me, the thing about Colin reminded me, the whole theory of this grading system, that you have like the base average, then plus a huge amount of points from everything else, is that the real theory is, I want you to know from the get-go, from today, I want you to know that there's more than one way to get an A in this class. There's more than one path to an A. You can be, if you rock at exams, or you took a ton of physics in high school and calculus, and you just like rock at physics exams, Quark bless you, fine. Then rock the exams, and you find that you can rock my exams, our exams, without cheating, without doing anything else. Then have your A, and bless you, and I'll see you next semester, and that's terrific. And maybe try to get to know me other ways too, so that I can write you a recommendation to graduate school or whatever. Or if you really struggle with exams and that kind of thing, or my exams because of the style that they are, blah, 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 blah. But you're like a go-getter and you care and you're engaged and invested and you make the time for the class, then you could get some fairly scary exam scores. And still, absolutely, if you do enough of this other stuff, it can make enough difference that you could end up with an A for real. That's the idea, that there's like more, okay? And when I say there's more than, and I mean A, when I say that there's more than, and certainly everything I just said also applies if you're a person who struggles to get Bs. Like you could get a B one way or the other, or pass or you're just in it just to get credit and move on with your life, whatever. Um, I'm going to move on in a second, but this is a very important piece of this whole thing. When I say that there's more than one way to get an A, um, I also mean that there's more than one person that's going to get an A. Let me be clear, and hopefully you can tell like my tone is changing. I am not joking about the following. I don't have a limit on how many people in this class can walk away with an A. I don't. I I don't have a limit. Could every single person in this class get an A? Yes. And would I feel happy about that? with every single person, if it's because it was such a special class that everybody rocked and everybody paid attention and everybody helped one another so that that happened, I'd be thrilled. Would I make the class harder next semester? Probably, but that's not your problem. Um, like, has that ever happened? Not quite, but it's come close. I am, so why am I saying that? I'm not saying it so that you think I'm a good guy. I'm saying, please think I'm a good guy for other reasons. No, I'm saying it. I'm saying it so that you know from the get-go, your A, your ability to get an A, whoever I'm talking to, you, all of you, your ability to get an A or whatever grade you're looking for, does not depend on somehow edging somebody else out from their A. That's not the point in this class. It is the point in some classes. And there's a place for that. But here, it's not a competition. It's not a sum zero game. It is not a bell curve. I want as many high grades as possible. And I can tell, so I want you to help each other. I want you to not view one another as threats. I want you to know that there's an A waiting for you to get if you do your job your way. Um, and the flip side of that is the reason I can say this with confidence. I mean, I've done it many times. But I also know, I mean, would somebody be suspicious if every single semester all the students in Yaverbaum's class always got A's? Oh, well, let me flip it the other way. Would I be suspicious if one of the other physics instructors always came to me and all the students in their classes, because like I run the physics thing, right? If another physics instructor came to me and every single semester everybody in their class got an A, oh yeah, I'd be suspicious. I'd be like, that can't be right. Like you're either like not even grading anything, like you're not like even looking at their work, or you're not assigning anything that's appropriately challenging. Like it can't, right? It can't be the case that every semester everybody gets an A. But the thing is that I'm going to, keep blathering on about my system. I'm going to keep telling you that my system is designed so that you have a shot. Even if you think you suck at math and physics, you might think that. A lot of people do think that when they get here. Hopefully you're going to find out you're wrong, or you're going to find out that whatever you think of as sucking at math and physics is not the only like thing that matters here. And excuse my language, I'm just trying to be emphatic. Um, if someone came to me and everybody was always getting A's in their class, that would be weird. And I would actually have to say something has to change. That's not right. But that's not what happens here. I'm telling you, I want each one of you to get an A. I will set it up so that each one of you can get an A. But somehow, there's always every semester things go wrong with some people, like family issues, medical issues, whatever issues, employment issues. So somehow there's always enough people that actually just can't do what the class is asking. And it may not be any fault of theirs, but just circumstances are such that every semester there are some people that can't meet the requirements of the class, and then they don't pass, or they do get like really bad grades or whatever, or they do have to take the class again, which there's no shame. And if you're one of those people right now, by the way, welcome back. I don't think you are, but no shame at all. But there's enough to do in this class that you have to do it to get the high grade. And if you don't, you won't. And there's always enough of those that then show on CUNY first that mean that when we're all said and done here at the end of the semester, I hope you do get an A. And I hope you partly got an A because you helped your friend and your friend helped you. I'm serious. And so you both got A's. I really do hope you both get an A. And when you get an A, if and when you end up with an A, I also want you to know from the get-go, it wasn't a gift and it wasn't a joke. And it wasn't automatic for just the fact that you signed up or because I'm a pushover. It's because you earned it, because there will be people who won't. And that's that's how it works. So okay. I'm looking at the chat. Sorry, I've been babbling a lot, and we're gonna get to Google. So the bottom line is please participate and do once I show you how you get these points, please do all that because it'll make you more relaxed going into the exams, knowing that you have that huge cushion to help your grade. Okay, now I'm looking at the chat. I'm glad there's a lot in the chat. It's amazing. I always think that talking about grades is the most boring thing, but it always generates the most feedback. Okay. Question number one. Do we have homework for both lecture and recitation? Great question. So again, I mean, so the simple answer is yes, but The simple answer is yes, in the sense that from here on in, I don't even know whether we're in lecture or recitation ever. I mean, I think technically Monday's lecture and Wednesday's recitation, but it makes no difference from here on in. It's just class with Yaverbaum for good or for bad. So it's all just one big class from here on in. So in that sense, yes, you can get homework for either. On the other hand, almost never do you have two homeworks due in the same week. Like the truth of the matter is, you have at least a week for most of the homeworks. And actually, as we get deeper in the semester, some of them are big enough that you have even more time than that. So, so some of them are due on Wednesdays and some of them are due on Mondays. So you can get homework for either, but you usually won't have two homeworks like right back to back because it takes us a while to go over them and stuff. Um, I hope that's clear. So again, if I answer your question, you may want to then put in the chat, got it, thanks, and you'll get points for that. Um, uh, in the homework, yeah, we have to get to seeing how the homework works in a second. But okay, good question. But wait, I'm looking. So basically, each exam is worth um 30 of the 60 points. Well, yes and no. I mean, as long as you want, so someone wrote, so basically each exam is worth 30 of the 60 points. Well, yes, but no, because like 60% of your whole grade is all of lecture. What I'm trying to make really clear here that is sort of hard to understand or hard to believe at first, it is a little unusual. I'm saying you get a ton of points for all this other non-exam stuff you do. Like you could end up getting, if you like 10, 12 extra points on your grade, and that means that was accounting for a big percentage of it. So really, technically, the two exams are together. They're each like worth less than 30 points, really, at the end of the day. I don't know if that's confusing. The reason I cannot tell you guys right now exactly how much I divide. So if you see like a game participation thing is worth 5 points, and you'll see that in a minute when I finally open up Google Classroom. Um, really in your mind you might want to like divide that by 20 or something. If it says 5 points, that really means at the end of the semester it's actually worth like a quarter of a point on your average, and if you did a bunch of those then you get 1 point on your average. But the reason I can't tell you that in advance is at the end of the semester is when I come up with that scaling factor, and I come up with it by looking at what the grades are at that moment, and I come up with a number to make sure that at least some people do get A's, to be totally honest. So it's kind of like a curving mechanism, kind of like, um, that's all so I can't decide how much all your homework is worth in the end. I mean, until the end, when I see what is needed for some people to end. So my short answer to that is basically each exam is worth less than 30 out of the 60 points. I don't know if that's confusing. It may be more clear when I start opening Google Classroom. Huh. Then someone wrote, do other professors cap how many people get an A? Well, that's a very fair question. I mean, you certainly would infer that from the rant that I just. So yeah, I'm not going to name anybody. I'm not trying to malign, but let me put it this way. I will not, maybe not at John Jay, but definitely in the world, for sure, a lot of classes, particularly science classes, math classes, are often, and certainly in like law school and things like that, med school, yeah, like grades are done on like a bell curve. Like at the end, the professor will sit down and take all the numbers and then make sure, and then assign letter grades to them so that there's 4 A's, 10 B's, 20 C's, 10 D's, and 4 F's, or what, like that's a very standard thing to do. I'm not maligning, and there's good reason for it. But yeah, that definitely goes on. But I just want to make clear that that's not something I believe in this context. But yeah. Oh, then a very good question, and it'll be a perfect segue for me to move on. Does our homework come directly from the textbook? The answer is no. Nothing comes directly from the textbook. Good question. The textbook is recommended, not required. The textbook is the same textbook for 203 and 204. So however you get it, if you have to spend money on it, your money is, um, you know, giving you 2 semesters worth of value. The textbook that's recommended, I do recommend it because without a textbook, all you have is me. And how's that working out for everybody so far? Um, it's good to have a book to follow along and to like see clear descriptions and clear practice problems and clear solutions. Like it's good to have a textbook to ground you so that you're not just depending on me or something like that. But no, but that's what the textbook is for this class. It's like a resource that you can have in the background to, or so that you can know where I got this material from in the first place. And then I'm not just like making it up or whatever. So the textbook that's recommended is what I think is the best physics textbook for this kind of material. It's the one that I learned from in the first place. Um, so you and if you can get I don't care what edition you get, if you get a somewhat an edition sort of near the edition that I recommended, and if you can get it um, some way that's cheap but not illegal, um, then Quark, bless America. But it's totally a resource for you to help you when you don't understand me. Nothing we do is directly from the textbook. All of the homeworks are sheets that we've made at John Jay for you. You'll see that are all in Google Classroom. So if you never ever if you never bought the textbook at all and never picked it up, I would never know the difference. And that's your choice. So no, nothing comes directly from the textbook. Good question. And that's for good or for bad. Oh, got it. Oh, someone wrote, okay, got it. Awesome. So you're going to see how you get points for that. Thank you, person who said, oh, got it. Okay. Okay, got it. So I'm going to move and all this is just to lay everything out so you can get to know the like obviously, if you miss something, you'll watch the video, but I don't mind. As you get more used to things, some I'll answer the same question again, and it won't offend me. Um, so let me just see. Oh yeah, all right. I'm gonna switch screens. Let's go to Google Classroom here and see what's what. So I'm gonna switch the screen share. Hold on, bear with me for a second. Right. Okay. Oh wait, oh, perhaps off topic. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no, no. All right. So okay. Someone's asking like, how do you submit homework? Like PDFs, pictures, what? Great question. Let me answer that by the answer is Google Classroom PDFs. I mean that is or Google Docs. That is the answer. But let me show you that. I mean, thank you for segueing me. Not off topic at all. So let me switch the share. Okay. So here we are. Oh, presumably you can see. Yeah. So this is Google Classroom. This is what it looks like when you open it up. Um, uh, I yours maybe looks slightly different because the student side looks slightly different, but the main thing the main thing about it is the classwork. That's what we're going to walk through in a second. But let me also say, if you've never used Google Classroom before, again, I apologize for giving you another platform to deal with, but I will say, I mean, there's an app for the phone that and whatever mobile devices, etc. That it totally is so much of a better app than whatever. It's a good app. You set the notification setting that you like, and you can like do half this course through your phone if you want. I highly recommend getting the app if you so anyway, once you have Google Classroom open, the main thing always to look at is this classwork um um tab. Uh and I'll walk you through that in a second. I mean, hopefully a lot of it is self-explanatory. And I'm not going to read. I'm not going to read through the syllabus today. Like I'll show you where the syllabus is. You can read. If you have questions, you'll ask me. But like I trust you to be able to do things on your own. The one thing I'm going to check right now is who we've got so far. So okay, so and you have this on your side too. I'm pretty sure. So. This looks great. One thing I'm noticing that most of these names are all right, I'm just going to read the names out loud. If I read your name, that means thank you. I'm acknowledging you're in. awesome. If you don't hear your name or you don't see your name, if you don't see, then please, like right now, like ignore me and hit that link and join Google Classroom right now. Like by the end of today, our goal is that all of you are in this thing and have already gotten some points from this thing so that we all like have trust in each other and know how to prepare for our next class. So please join the Google Classroom like right now with that. Oh, I'll put it back in the chat. Maybe it got lost in the chat. Hold on, because if you just hold on. Wait, what? Hello. I hate when it does this. One sec. Oh, come on. Oh, right. I got it. Okay. So chat, it's not letting you join the Google Classroom. Okay, wait. Oh, you joined, but your name is not in it. Wait. That's interesting. Wait. Huh. You joined before class started. Thank you. I appreciate it. And I'm putting the link back here again, just in case anybody came to class late. So the thing I'm talking about is here in the chat, but now it's not letting you joined before class started, but your name is not in it. Oh, well, let me refresh for one thing. Hold on a second. Oh no, it looks like the person who's saying their name is not in it. I think I just needed to refresh. I think their name is there now to check, but now it's not letting you join. Oh, you see it now. Great. Thanks. No, it does show your name. Oh, on your end. Good point, Colin. Oh, yeah, that may well be. Wait, is that true though? That's a
It
good.
looks like it's for me. Like I don't see my name on my end, but I see it on your side here.
Oh, okay. That's it. Oh, so it does that. Okay, great. And your name and your brand. Oh, and thank you, Brandon. So you got total points to you for thank you for responding to my other thing. Okay, that's great. That's great. So okay, so this is what I found my so right. So on my end, I'll just say very quickly, I have Nazrin, Brittany, Stephanie Marie, Chanel. And again, this is another opportunity. I want to get to know you people. And I want us to be in a position where at the end of 2 semesters, you're asking me for a recommendation to graduate school or to a job. Like I'm serious. I want to help with your futures. I'll know that we both did something right if by the end you consider me possibly helpful in your future and I, right? Like we've both done something right if that happens. So I want to get to know you. So tell me right now if I'm getting your name wrong, and it may take me a couple times. And also, my name is Yaverbaum, for heaven's sake. I mean, rhymes with Cadaver Town. Like it's a pretty easy name to butcher, pun intended. So like I get it. I mean, sort of. So please correct me if so. Mickey is in the room. Adenelsi is in the room. Alexis, and if that is well anyway, all right. Alexis is in the room. Emily is in the room. Brandon is in the room. Colin is in the room. Anissa is in the room. Carolina is in the room. Juan is in the room. Ariana is in the room. Maria is in the room. Gaia is in the room. Judith, which I think is Judith, not yeah. Xavier is in the room. Ethan is in the room. Charlene is in the room. That's awesome. If I didn't say your name, please try right now and or put something in the chat to tell me what's going on. If you press, oh, on the student end, this is cool. If you press people, then you can only see everyone else's name, not, oh, all right. So fine. So you can't see your own name, but if you just heard your name, and also, if you're in it and you're seeing other people's names, then you're in it, I guess, is the bottom line. But all right, so very quick. So this is great. This is already progress. One, two. And if your last name is what you put there, that's great. If what you put as your last name is not your last name, that is going to confuse me. And then your grade is going to go somewhere that you don't want it to go. So please make sure that your last name like is your last name. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 19, 20. All right, I think there's 2 people that still have to join. I don't want to embarrass anybody or anything like that. Oh, okay. Now, someone's already asking about the homework and how that works. Great, because that's what I want to get to. Good question about homework one. All right, but I'm going to say I think and I will do this a lot. Let me also say, if I ever call your name, it's because I'm saying something positive in my mind. Like really, I will never. I think I can say this with confidence. I will never say someone's name to point out something publicly, to publicly point out something that they did wrong. If you hear your name and you jump, I promise what's about to happen is I'm using you as an example of something good. Now, that still might embarrass you, and I apologize for that. So I even try to be careful about that. But like, so I'm not now going to say the two names of the people that I think haven't joined yet, but I think two people haven't joined yet. So please, like, if you haven't joined or joined successfully, or if there's any doubt, put something in the private chat so that I know you're trying or you have a plan or something, because this class will, it won't work for you if you don't get into the Google Classroom. For example, all the homework and everything is here. So let's get to that because someone just asked. Okay. Like, for example, well, all right, I'm going to be, we have 15 minutes. All right, so I'll be very quick. So first, there's a Zoom link. Obviously, you have it. Second of all, there's this YouTube channel, right? You can go at your own leisure and see all the past classes and stuff. But I will tell you, at the end of this class, well tonight, the recording of this class will be posted in YouTube in our thing, in our playlist, and the link will be put right here. So this thing is going to get long. Like every day, this thing is going to get longer. Okay, so you can always like rewind and see whatever. Same thing with the class notes. Like someone asked at the beginning, the PDF of whatever I've been talking about here will get posted right after this class or within a couple hours. So they'll all be here under class notes. Then all this points and participation stuff. And I'm watching the clock, I promise. And I know someone just asked about homework one. Great question. I'm going to just go in order here. Hopefully not to confuse people. Well, yeah, I just want to go in order. So homework zero, game, points and participation. Okay. This is what I was talking about before. First of all, you'll see it says a game, turn one. Okay. You're going to do this right now so that you can get some points. Okay. And also so we can make sure we're like on the same page. We'll do it in a minute once I explain it. Every single day is a turn in the game. Like tomorrow will be turn two. It's literally identical every single day, 5 points. All you have to do, and actually, you don't even have to. It's all optional, but you'd be crazy not to do this. At some point today, before midnight tonight, you go to this assignment, you open up this assignment thing, you hit plus, you create a fresh document. Like, and by the way, I'm literally saying the minute you think it's clear what I'm saying to you, do it like right now in real time. You're going to create a fresh document right here in the portal, like because there'll be a plus sign or something like that, and it'll say create blank Google Doc or create blank Word doc or something. And you'll open up a blank document. And for that day, for the turn, you'll just write down a sentence like, today I corrected your pronunciation of my name, or today I showed video, or today I like raised your hand when you said raise your hand if you're paying attention right now. Whatever. You're just going to write down one sentence of any possible way that you participated at all today, okay? And then hit submit or turn it in or whatever that button is. So literally, this is it's meant to be a no-brainer. It's like one sentence of reflection on some way that you were alive and helpful today. And by the way, when all else fails or when in doubt, you'll notice like when I come in on Wednesday, for this class, and I'll like turn on my thing and I'll be like, hello, hello. If you just write hello in the chat right then, or you just say hello, like many of you did today, and it was awesome because I never told you to. If you just say hello and make me feel like a human being and make it clear that like everything's working, that can count. You could just write that I said hello today. Boom. So you turn it in. And again, if you're following what I'm saying, do it right now, please. Like you have until midnight to do it. If you do it by midnight, then as soon as I see it, and I'm going to do it right now, you'll get 5 points. Now, does that really, where's the 5 points go? Again, it means really realistically that you just got like a tenth of a point that's going to add on to your average. But this happens every single day. So they add up. Okay. So again, do it right now. I'm going to give you back the points, hopefully, before we even finish this class. So we'll have one transaction between the two of us. You'll have shown me that you know how to submit a document. I'll show you that I know how to give you points, right? And that's like for today. Now, let me go on though while you're doing it. Hopefully you're I see there's stuff in the chat. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, wait. Okay, good question. Hold on. Okay, lots of great questions. Whoa, great question. Okay, now we're seeing I'm running a. Oh my God, there's like a lot of great questions. Okay, and they're all private, and just and I get it because it's a eventually like you don't have to be embarrassed by these questions. Like they really could be public, but anyway, whatever. So I'll try to quickly answer these questions. Well, first of all, one is about exams. No, there's only two exams, a midterm and a final. There's no other exams. There's no pop quizzes, nothing like that. Okay, so a lot of it is about doing all this homework and stuff, really, and paying attention. There's two exams, midterm and final. That's it. And we'll talk about them when we get there. Then also there's other things off. Hold on. And I'm watching the clock, I promise. Um, then there's this thing for all this game stuff that I'm talking about, and there's more to say about it, but all these participation things, well, actually for everything, for all homework, even though I'm only asking you for one sentence, I am asking for a separate document. It's a very good question, but don't just write in the comment section that Google Classroom provides. I've thought we use those comment sections. Like I might make a comment back to you about what you wrote or something, but don't just write in the, and the main reason is because I can't mark those. Like I need a document, and part of all this participation stuff, this easy stuff that you get points for, is to build habits that you really need for the physics, the real stuff. So you always want to be in a habit. Anything that you're handing it to me, even if it's only one sentence, it needs to be a document. That way I can bring the document up on my tablet and I can like mark it and blah, blah, blah. And there's other reasons too. But okay, so I can't, so never put work in the comment section. The comment section is a comments about work. For real. A great question, but like the answer is no. Or the answer is okay. So yes, you do have to submit a document. Now, it could be a screenshot. Yes, that's true. You could just submit a screenshot of when you said hello at the beginning of the class, of the chat or something. That's fine. But it has to be something that I can like pull up on my tablet and mark on. Okay. That now also I know we're getting close to time. There's some great questions in the chat about like the real physics stuff. Now, and of course, I'm sure you would guess we're going to get to most of this class is really about physics. I'm just outlining all this stuff today because it's the first day. But mostly what we talk about and do is solve physics problems. Of course, I want to get to that, right? And there's some good questions about that already. Let me just say one last thing about all this participation before we get to the physics. You'll notice there's all so tomorrow. So there's turn one. It's due tonight at midnight. If you miss it by midnight, then that's it. It closes like because it's a moment of self-reflection. But then there'll be another one on Wednesday and another one next Monday, etc. So those just turn one, turn two, turn three. But then there's all these others that are already there. You see all these other portals, and they're all due technically May. But what's the deal with all these? All of these are what I was referring to before. All of these things can be used, should be used as many times as you want until the last day of classes, May 14th. So, for example, you see right here, again, video. All of you who are showing video today, yes, in the turn tonight before midnight, you'll jot something down that just says, I showed video or whatever you say. Fine, 5 points. But because you showed video today, that's worth view instructions. That's worth a lot more than 5 points. Video, where to go? It's worth okay. It's worth 9 points. So in addition to this turn thing, if you're using video right now, take a screenshot of it right now or whatever. And when you get a chance, it doesn't have to be by midnight tonight. When you get a chance, sometime this week, in the video portal, just submit the screenshot of you showing video or whatever, even if you or just a note like I showed video for 5 minutes on January 27th, right? Submit that to the video portal whenever you want. You'll get 9 points for that. And then tomorrow, if you show video again, upload a new thing. Don't erase the old one, and I'll show you how to do that on Wednesday. But there's a way to like upload another thing without losing the old thing. So if you use there was a guy he was a guy. I mean, last semester in the other class, he showed video every single day, and every single day he uploaded a shot. So I had 35 shots of him by then, and he got 9 points every day for doing that. There's nothing to stop you from that's what I want. Okay, so any of these portals that apply at all, video. If you have an avatar, that if you do that, some of them make immediate sense. Some of them you won't understand. The titles are so cutesy, you might have to read the instructions to understand what it's saying. But but you'll definitely see, for example, there's a lot of them. If you ask me to slow down and go back or turn a slide back that you missed, You get points for that. If I'm rabbit holing and dwelling too long on a slide and you want me to move on and you tell me in private chat privately, please move on, we all get it. That's called please go forward. You get points for that. Anything you do, as long as you remember to open up the portal and write down one sentence reminding me that that happened, you don't have to prove it. You're just reminding me. Then you're like submitting for the points and you'll get the points. Okay. I'm going to keep, so, and then you can use them multiple times. So just like familiar yourself, and I'll try to point out as we go. It is gamified that anytime I see someone doing one of these things, I'll say there's a portal for that. They should submit into the portal, okay, to remind you. So you just keep accumulating points any way that you participate multiple times. Just use the portals. They're all open, all of them, until the last day of class is May 14th. Hopefully that's somewhat clear. You'll get more used to it as we go. I'm looking at the chat. I know we only have 5 minutes. Hold on. And I know we have to get, oh, wait, okay. These are all good questions. So first of all, wait, someone said we don't have class this Wednesday. Is that true? This Wednesday's a holiday? Oh my God. Okay, I apologize. I don't know how I didn't realize that. So it's like literally no, oh my God. Oh my God. It's the lunar. Oh, well, Happy New Year. I should really know that. I'm embarrassed. Okay. Okay. So I'll have to adjust things. So anything I'm saying Wednesday, I guess I mean next Monday. I'll adjust all the date. I did not realize. Oh, that's embarrassing. I'll adjust all the dates accordingly. Thank you for telling me. By the way, that's a portal. There's a portal called Respectfully Corrected somewhere, or if it's not there, respectfully corrected. When you point out an error that I made, and all of you, I don't, it could be more than one of you, you pointed out an error and you did it without making me feel like garbage. So there's a portal, and you don't have to prove it. Just remember, I told you it was New Year. We didn't have class, whatever. Okay, so you get it. Year of the snake. Oh, nice. Okay. Okay. All right. So on that, the homework, the real physics homework that it says is due this Wednesday. No, I'll move that to Monday. I'll shift everything. I apologize. That's on me. But since we only have 3 minutes, let me make it clear. Yes, there. So I think you get the point of how the participation. But now this real homework, this, boom, is due the next class. Now, with 3 minutes left, make a couple of things clear about this. We haven't done any physics. I haven't asked you to read any physics. I know all that. In principle, all you need to do this homework is what it says on the sheet itself. In principle, it's just giving you some definitions and asking you to apply them. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm just saying it's not expected that you know any. You might already know things, but it's not expected that you do. All you need is to look at the sheet, and then, but what you're going to do, and you're going to try your best. And we'll get into all of that. You're going to just try your best. And are you allowed to go on the web and look things up? Sure, absolutely. Are you allowed to help your friend? Absolutely. It's open universe when you do homework. You can get any help you need anyway. But what you're going to do whenever you do a homework such as this one, you're going to go to the assignment, you're going to make a fresh document. What I recommend for most of us, including me, is you're going to do this homework out on regular paper with pencil, probably. Most of us still prefer to do things that way. And you're going to take many pages to do it, probably. And then you're going to scan in those pages or take photos of the pages or whatever. You're going to turn those pages into one PDF or one Google Doc. If you have trouble with that, I'll show you how. Or your friends will show you how. You're going to make a document. So probably most of you will handwrite this out, but you're going to make a self-sufficient document that does not include these questions, copied, like just a self-sufficient document that you'll then turn into that assignment portal. I know we only have 2 minutes. Okay. And the way they're graded, and again, I know I'm running out of time. So your first draft, consider everything you ever do in this class as a draft. What's due the next class is your first draft of this assignment. You'll get most of the points that it's worth. You'll get most of the points if you turn it in on time and you mostly tried everything, right? Even if there's a lot wrong, which there probably won't be, but if you turn it in on time and most of it is there, you'll get most of the points right away. But then beyond that, the main thing I'm looking for that I didn't have time to talk about today, but you can look up in the Google Classroom, is what I'm looking for on every assignment and on the exams is for you to show all work according to a 5-step method that I'll talk more about on Monday, but there's a sheet under tools in Google Classroom that briefly gives you a sense. Obviously, I'm running out of time now, but you're going to do your main goal is to give me a document on Monday where you try your best, even if your answers are wrong, where on every single question, you make it 100% clear what the question is, what you're using to solve it, your work, and then the final answer circled. Like that's the quick summary of the work. You want to give me like, and this is all practice for exams. You want to give me an assignment where even if all your answers are wrong, where I don't have to look at anything but your assignment itself to be able to follow what you're doing, what the question is, what the work is, and what the answers are. Okay, you don't copy and paste my assignment, but okay, so you'll redraw a diagram like once, then every single place you'll say like see above diagram, whatever. But you're trying to produce a separate document. It's 1205, um, and do your best. And you'll have time to revise and upload later to get the rest of the points. Like with everything else, your goal is eventually to get all the points. But as long as you make a valiant first draft attempt on time, not only will you get most of the points, but you'll eventually be able to get all the points. Now, I know you have to go and I have to go. Someone asked if they could talk to me after class. Well, I could talk super briefly, but then I have another class coming in and you have to. But hopefully, this is all somewhat clear. Just try your best on the homework according to what I just said. Oh, and do the game thing, and I'll give it back to you today, so you'll get the points today for that. But Quark plus America, you've been sorry to be so frenetic at the end. I'll see you next class. If you want to hang out for a second, you can. But okay. Yeah. If you submit multiple times, you get multiple points. Yes. Have a great day. Thank you. Wait. If there's anything unclear, hang out for a second. I'll try to. You'll get double. Yeah. No, you'll get points multiple times. Mostly the grading is mostly on process, not final answers. I'll be more detailed about that on Monday, but to answer questions, like it's mostly about did you show all the steps? That's really how you get the points. I'm looking at the chat. Hey, have a great day. Have a great day. Okay. All right, I'm gonna also, I'm not leaving. I'm just stopping the screen share because it's taking up so much real estate. Okay, someone asked me, I know there are a bunch of you, hold on, we'll do. Someone asked if they could hang out. No, I will move the homework. Wait, someone asked if they could hang out for a second after. Obviously, it was one of you, but I just want to see who was it asked. Oh, wait, who? Okay. Is any of if your questions are not private, if you don't mind, just fire away right now. If Judith, if you, or, oh, it was Ryan who, I'm sorry. Wait, Ryan, is your question private or is it,
It's a regular question.
okay, why don't you, I'm going to let Ryan go first just because I think he asked in the chat if he could. And then, okay. All right, Ryan, go for it.
Trying to sign up for the Google Classroom, and when I put the code in, it said it was correct, but it's not saying I could access the class. And now it's saying like I have to contact my teacher.
Oh, wait, let me look if you, okay, hold on. We may have to solve this by text later. If I can't solve it right now, wait, your name is Ryan. Yeah, you're right. I don't see, why is he, are you using your, John Jay address as your email address?
The college email.
Do you have any, it might be the reason. Do you have any other email that you can try, like a Gmail or anything?
Yeah, I tried it and it said the same thing.
Oh, that's weird. I don't. All right, wait. I'm going to do this really quick right now. Hold on. And sorry to keep you. Or wait. Hold on one second. I think I can solve it. Judith, do you have a minute? Or are you going like you have a minute to? Oh, okay, thank you. All right, let's try it this way, Ryan. Maybe I can send you an invitation that might help. Okay. I'm going to add it. Give me. Tell me if you don't mind saying in front of. Tell me the email address that you'd prefer that maybe is not a John Jay email address.
Type it if anything.
What?
In
I
the
mean,
chat if anything.
oh, you put in the chat? Okay, wait.
I'll type it right now.
Okay, great. Okay. Okay. Let me see if I can. Okay, give me a second to copy that. Okay. Oh, it might be. Okay, I'm gonna try it, but it might be because that's an EDU because it's a CUNY address. That might be the issue. I'll try it, but if that doesn't work, let's try a.
Another email right there.
Oh yeah, it won't let me. That is weird. Yeah, so CUNY. Yeah, give me an email if you don't mind. Give me an email address that's maybe a Gmail or.
Oh yeah, I got you one right now.
Okay. is weird because it lets me. It's so weird. Okay. Okay. This. Okay. So it just sent you an invite. See if that comes to your email and try it. I'm still gonna hang on and we'll refresh it. But let me ask, I'm gonna answer Judith's question in the meantime, if that's okay. Wait, let me go back. Yeah, Judith, do you
know if it
want
went through.
it went through?
No, I'll let you know if it did.
Okay, okay, great. Okay. Okay. Yeah, Judith, sorry. Go.
It's okay. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes. Thanks.
Okay, okay. It was just gonna be a quick question. I was just wondering if we can use iPad notes to submit our work. Like I handwrite them, but I handwrite them digitally and then I submit
Oh,
them.
beautiful. Oh, yes. Oh, that's great. First of all, I'm a big fan. So the only question is, wait, do they get, can you do that? Can you do your work on the iPad digitally like that? But
Yeah.
then can it make them into a PDF? Or
Yeah. I can do
then
that.
perfect. Then perfect. Yes.
Okay.
Great. Oh,
Okay. Just asking.
oh,
Okay.
that's great. That's
That
great.
was all.
All
Okay,
right.
thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Thanks. Okay. Uh, and Ryan, you're still there. Let me just see. Did you do it? I could check quickly if it went through. Oh, wait. Oh, no, wait. Let's see. Wait, Ryan, are you still there? Ryan, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Are
Hold
you,
on.
you're
I got
trying?
the invite. I got the invite.
Okay.
Just trying to join it right now, but it's not.
Okay. We might as well just try to. Is it giving you probably look? I may have to go in a second, but what is it not just a is it not just letting you?
Yeah, it's not just letting me right now. But if anything, I will text your number and let you know if something changes.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, that'd be good.
No
Good.
problem.
Okay, thanks. All right. See you next time. All right. Take care.